Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I am going to be filming a Q&A about my Disneyland trip. Now I did a Q&A before my Disneyland trip which was on my Esme Ever After channel, which is still up and there if you want to go and watch it, and my other videos are still up on there, but recently I decided that I wanted to upload all of my content onto one channel, so that is why I'm doing this here. Whereas that was a Q&A about maybe some of the things I'm looking forward to doing and all of those sort of things. This is a Q&A about how it was for me and what I enjoyed, maybe things I didn't enjoy as much, stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And if you didn't know, in August we went on holiday, and by we I mean me, my mum, my dad and my boyfriend Luke. We all went on holiday to America for 2 weeks. We went to LA, we went to Anaheim, which is when we went to Disneyland, California for 2 days, and we went to Vegas, we went to the Grand Canyon, we went to Phoenix in Arizona. We did a lot basically, and it was incredible. If you want to see any of my vlogs from that trip, they are all on this channel and you should definitely go check them out, and all of my Disney vlogs as well are up on this channel, so definitely give them a watch if you haven't already, because I'm just obsessed with them. And now I finally finished uploading all of them, which is really sad, but I'm excited now that I can just watch through them all and watch them all back as much as I want to, and hopefully you guys will enjoy them as well. But today I'm going to be doing a Q&A about my Disney trip. I did get quite a few questions, quite a few of them were similar, so I've just picked a few and I'm going to answer them now. The first question was from Adelaide, and also Serena kind of asked a similar question, and basically they both asked whether it was better than Paris or which one I preferred, California or Paris. And honestly, I don't know if I can say, because although there were a lot of things that were very similar, there were also quite a few different, like it felt very different, or even though there were a lot of things that were very similar, like the layout of it and a lot of the rides and stuff. So I feel like I can't choose which I prefer. I don't know. I feel like Disneyland Paris is like my childhood, because I went there when I was young and obviously that's my dream place to work, so it has such a big place in my heart. But California was obviously the original park and it's so amazing, and Walt Disney has been in that park and walked those footsteps. I walked the footsteps of Walt Disney and that makes me emotional. But I really couldn't pick. I love them both for completely different reasons. I think I love Disneyland because it's such a classic as well, and the fact that it's in America, and I just like the American vibe of it, I guess. But I also love Paris for like the reasons I said, and it's so close to my heart. So I know this is probably not a great answer, but I just can't decide. I love them both for very different reasons, and I couldn't decide. They're both very similar but also have quite a lot of differences as well. I feel like you need to experience both, but I don't know, I can't choose, I'm sorry. The next question is from Megan, and she said, what is one of your favourite things that you did whilst you were there? And I mean, again, how can I choose? A few of the highlights were, of course, the Paint the Night parade. That was the thing I was most looking forward to out of the whole trip. That was the thing I knew I was going to love the most, the thing I was the most excited for out of everything. And it did not disappoint. It was incredible and I cried the whole way through. It was so amazing, like just the colours and the lights and everything, the music, it was just amazing. So the thing I was looking forward to the most, and probably the thing that I enjoyed the most, and it was like the second evening, so like the last evening we were there, so it was kind of like to end the holiday, although we did go back to the main park as well for a little bit after that, but it was just nice to have that on our last evening, and it was just incredible. And I did want to save it for our last evening because it was the thing I was looking forward to the most, and I'm glad I did, because it was so worth it, and oh, I loved it so much. Also the rides never disappoint. I loved Incredicoaster. I finally got to ride that. I never thought I'd ever get to do that. I got to go to Pixar Pier, like I just didn't think that was ever going to happen. When I first found out that it was being changed to Pixar Pier, I was really disappointed, and I was like, because I think I found out about it after we discussed the idea of going. I don't think we booked it by this point, but I'm pretty sure I was like, oh, now I want to, like, there's actually the chance of me going. They're changing it from the original. But it was incredible, amazing. I loved the theming. It was just beautiful. It was just the best thing ever. But yeah, Paint the Night was probably the highlight for me. And we met a lot of characters as well, so honestly everything. The next question is from Bethan, and she said, did you have to queue long to meet characters? And absolutely not at all. I don't even think we queued longer than like 20-25 minutes for any character that I can think of off the top of my head. That might be wrong. And to be honest, the main reason for that is that a lot of the characters are roaming characters, which means they just walk around the park, they don't have a set meet and greet place, and if you just happen to bump into them, you can chat to them, maybe follow them to wherever they're going, have some photos, stuff like that, and it's not a set meet and greet. There were quite a few like that, but then there were others that just walked around, so that made it easier to meet characters. That is another highlight for me actually, and one of the things I prefer to Paris is that the characters are just everywhere. Like every 5 seconds you're turning your head and there's another character walking another way, and they're literally everywhere. I met Peter Pan, Captain Hook, Alice, Mad Hatter and the Queen in the space of about 15 minutes. It was hectic but amazing, and I loved that about it. But honestly, you didn't have to queue that long at all. They had very set times for meet and greets. When, like, there were set times for when characters were going to come out, even if they were just roaming. Some of them weren't on the list on the app, because there is an app that tells you all the meet and greet times and times that characters are going to be coming out and whereabouts. But some of them didn't come up on the app, they might have just come out randomly, so it was like you might happen to bump into one. Then others had set meet and greet places, some just had set meet and greet times. They'd like cut off the queue after a certain time and be like, oh, this character will be back in about 30 minutes if you want to wait or come back. So it was very well organised. Whereas in Paris it's just like you all clumped together. From what I remember last time, it's all like the characters there and you all like circle around them and just try and get in, which I'm not slating Paris, I just think in terms of like the character meets, it's a lot better at California, but that doesn't mean that California is a better park. And it's really hard to choose. Like, I kind of want to say that I prefer California, but then I think of all the reasons that I love Paris, and I'm like, but you can't experience that at California, if you get what I mean. And it's not, basically I can't decide. They're both very amazing for different reasons, but you don't have to queue that long from what I've experienced. To be fair, it wasn't too busy when we went, so maybe on a busier day it is more difficult to meet characters and the queues are longer, but for us it was fine. And I think the way they do it means that you're never really queuing too long for characters. I mean, when I met Anna and Elsa, I mean, very popular characters. I know they're not as popular at the moment, like I think the kind of Frozen hype has died down a little bit now, but they're still very popular characters. When we saw that they were doing a meet and greet, we didn't even know they were. We walked into the, oh, I can't remember what it's called, but where they do their meet and greet, and we saw it and was like, oh, Anna and Elsa are meeting there, let's go and have a look. And we literally just walked straight in the room. It was insane. That's what I just met so many characters and didn't have to queue long at all. There was some that I had decided in my head, okay, if this character is out, then I'm willing to queue a long time. Like, say if Peter Pan was out and you had to queue for him, you usually don't because he is a roaming character. But I thought, even if I have to queue like an hour to meet him, I'm going to do it. I need to meet him. But even then, I just waited around the area that I knew he was going to be coming out to, and I just walked with him and chatted with him. Again, you can see all of this in the Disney vlogs, and I really recommend you go and watch them because they're just insane. Like, I can't believe the things that happen. I can't believe that those vlogs are mine and that I got to experience that, because I always watch Disney vlogs, and actually being, like, having a Disney vlog or Disney vlogs myself was just surreal. You don't really have to wait that long to meet characters from my experience, and the way they organise it is great. So they're very well organised and they have a set system that makes it so much easier. The next question is from Brooke. She actually asked a couple of things. The first thing she asked was, what was the most magical thing about your trip? Again, many things were magical about this trip. One of the things that meant the most to me actually happened at the very end, like just before we left, and that was when I met Donald Duck in the main Disneyland park. I've kind of explained this on my social media and stuff, why it had a special place in my heart, but he hugged me at the end and he wouldn't let go, and it was so amazing and so special to me. And the interaction with him was probably my favourite character interaction. I just loved it, or one of my favourites. There were so many that I loved, and it was just such a magical moment, and it being in the evening and all the lights were lit up. It was around the time that the fireworks had been on. Obviously we didn't watch them properly that night because we watched them the night before, and we entered the park as the fireworks started. That was another really magical moment actually, and walking through and watching the vlog back, that bit, oh, I'm getting emotional, for God's sake. That bit, walking through and the fireworks were going off, it was just incredible. And then getting to meet a couple of characters that last evening, it was so special. And of course Paint the Night was so magical and the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And of course I finally got to meet Peter Pan, the one character that I wanted to meet the most, and I got to walk with him. I told him that he was my favourite and he said that I was his favourite, and we just had a really fun interaction with him, and that was just incredible, and it couldn't have been more perfect. And just the whole thing, the way that the cast members treat you, that is one thing that I love, the cast members. Not necessarily just the characters, the cast members working there, the character attendants, people working in merchandise, in food and beverage, everyone was just so lovely and so amazing, and it just made the whole experience even more magical. Like, literally even the like smallest things that wouldn't normally be like that exciting, they made it so magical. Like, I asked for a badge, a certain badge, because you can ask for the free badges if you don't know, like the birthday badges and engagement badges, stuff like that, and I asked for one, and the woman working in this specific shop gave me like one of loads of them. She gave me about 5 or 6 different ones, and I don't know, even like the little things, they just like to create magical moments for everyone, and it's just so sweet. And I loved the whole, it was just the people working there that make it so magical. That is what it is really. You don't always realise how much effort the cast members put in and how much goes on behind the scenes to make everything so magical, like even the smallest things. It's just the best. It's why I love Disney so much and why I love the parks so much, because they just put every little detail into making it the most magical place ever. And I don't know how they do it. It's just incredible, and that is why I want to work for them, because they're just, in my opinion, the best company ever. Then Brooke also asked me what the food was like, and as soon as I saw this question, first thing I thought of was corn dogs. I tried a corn dog for the first time at Disneyland, California. What a dream. I've always wanted to try one. Kind of thought I'd hate them. What it is basically, it's like a sausage with like batter around the outside, kind of. It's kind of like the donut kind of texture. It's like that kind of stuff on the outside, so it's kind of sweet but then it's like savoury as well, and it sounds gross, but oh my god, it is like one of the best things I've ever eaten. And since that day, they're all I can think about, and I really want to go back just for the corn dogs. They were great. It's something I've wanted to try for years and years and years. Like, even since I was little and I used to watch like American like Disney Channel programs and they'd be eating corn dogs, I'd be like, oh, I'd love to try a corn dog. So random, but it's something I've always wanted to try, and it was great. I also tried quite a lot of the sweeter treats. Like, I tried a Mickey Mouse cookie, amazing. Mickey Mouse cake pop, oh my god, so sickly. Even though it was so small, it was really sickly, but so good. And Buzz Lightyear churros from Pixar Pier. Oh yes, I ended up buying 2 in the same day because they were just so good. Disneyland food is great. Obviously, it's not always the healthiest. I'm sure there are healthier options, but of course, I'm gonna go for the unhealthy options. Amazing, so good. Loved all of the food that I had there, and honestly, now I'm really hungry and I just want to go back just for all the food. Then the last question is from my friend Chloe, who also has a YouTube channel. She recently went to Disney World and she's been uploading vlogs from that. She has an Instagram account which is amazing. She posts loads of really awesome Disney pictures, so I will leave her stuff on screen if you want to go follow her, because honestly, even though she is one of like my good friends, I just love her content as well. Like, I'm like a fan. Like, I know that sounds really lame, but yes, Chloe, I am like your #1 fan, because I love your YouTube videos, and whenever you post an Instagram photo, I'm like, oh my god, Disney, love it so much. She's great, so definitely go and check her stuff out. But she asked me, was there anything that didn't meet or exceeded your expectations? So I had a really big think about this because I wanted to try and remember everything. I feel like when you go to a Disney park, you come back and then your mind's just a blur, and like, because it all just happens, you're so overwhelmed. I know that doesn't happen with everyone, but for people that are huge Disney fans and it's very important to them and stuff, it all becomes a blur, and then I'm like, I don't know if I'm remembering every detail, and like, there's so much to take in. I think it's hard to like process it all a lot of the time, but there were some things that I could think about to talk about for this section of the Q&A, and one of the things that totally exceeded my expectations, I mean, I never thought it wasn't going to be any good, I just thought, oh, it's something I've not seen before, I'm sure it'll be nice. Phantasmic. Oh my god, that way exceeded my, that wasn't English, that completely exceeded my expectations. It was incredible. I've never seen that show the whole way through, I've only seen like little clips of it on Disney vlogs. Oh my god, I was blown away. I love it so much, and I love that Mickey's like in the middle like and then like fireworks come out of his arms, and it's just great. And then the bit at the end, I kind of don't want to spoil it if you are like thinking of going and you want it to be a complete surprise for you, but spoiler alert, there is a bit at the end with the massive boat. They used the Mark Twain boat for the Disneyland California version, the massive white Mark Twain boat, and loads of characters come out on it, and they're holding like these little like strings of like tinsely kind of ribbon stuff, and they're like waving it about, and there's loads of different characters all around it, and it slowly goes across the river because it's on the water basically, the show is, and like Mickey stood at the back on these like platforms and stuff, and that bit just made me so emotional. I loved it, and after watching it I was like, why have I not even thought about seeing that before? Like, I knew it was a thing, but I'd never really been like, oh my god, I need to see that, I'm so excited. We just kind of watched it. I even said to Luke, like, we was talking about what we we're going to do throughout the day, and I was like, oh, we'll watch the fireworks show because it's in the main Disneyland park, and then I was like, that's not until 10:30, so we could go over to that afterwards, but it doesn't matter if we don't get time, it's just I thought we might as well. And my mum and dad ended up going back to the hotel after the fireworks, and then me and Luke were like, should we go watch it? And because I obviously wanted to make the most of the time we were there, so I was like, yeah, let's go watch it. We couldn't get into the main seating because I think you had to like get fast passes and stuff, or like get there in advance or book it in advance. I'm not too sure about that, to be honest, but we stood further back and stood by like this wall so we could still see it all absolutely fine. I absolutely loved it, and honestly that would be one of my priorities if I ever went back, would be to go and watch that again, because it was incredible and way more amazing than I expected. I didn't expect it to be bad, obviously, I just didn't think I was going to love it that much. Like, I didn't realise how good it was. So yeah, definitely one of the things that exceeded my expectations. One of the things I was going to say didn't meet my expectations, but I kind of didn't have high expectations for it anyway, was the fireworks show, the Pixar, what was it called, Together Forever, I think. Not that it was bad, it was great, but I was really looking forward to, like, you know, the generic Disney Castle fireworks show, so like a mixture of different things. When I found out it was just Pixar, I was really sad because I know they kind of did their own little version of Wishes, which was the fireworks show that used to be at Disney World, and I was really looking forward to that, and then I realised they were changing it to Pixar themed, and I love Pixar, don't get me wrong, and I loved that it was Pixar Fest when we were there because it was amazing, but I was kind of a little bit gutted that I didn't get to see the like main fireworks show, if that makes sense. And I didn't think it was bad at all, I still enjoyed it. We didn't get a good viewing of it, to be honest. We didn't, usually when I'm going to watch like fireworks shows or parades and stuff, I'll get there in advance so we get a good spot, but because I wasn't that bothered, like I knew I wanted to watch it but I wasn't desperate to get a really good spot. I don't know why, I feel like I should have been, but we didn't get a great viewing of it, so I couldn't see it that well. But they had the projections on like the sides of like the shops down Main Street and stuff, so I could still see some of it, and I still liked it, but obviously I think I was just still a bit like, oh, I wish this had been like the original showing, like with like a mixture of different stuff in it. And I still loved it, and I still cried at the end of it, and I think all the emotions hit me at once after that, because I mean the fireworks shows, you can't help but feel emotional at them no matter what it's about, so at Disneyland that's just what happens. But I did like it, but I think I would have loved like a general fireworks show more rather than just Pixar themed, but I still liked it and it still made me emotional. And I just, basically it was kind of, I wasn't expecting much from it, and it kind of like met the level. Like it was good, but I wasn't like, that was the best thing ever, oh my god it was amazing, but I still loved it, if that makes sense. I don't know, that's kind of how I was feeling about that. Another thing that exceeded my expectations was the Pixar Play Parade. Again, kind of had the same feelings. I was like, I just wanted to see the normal parade. Why does it have to be Pixar as well? Like, I get that it's Pixar Fest, but everything has turned Pixar and I want to see a mixture of things because I love all the classics as well, and I was just a little bit gutted about that. Obviously, I was so grateful that I was getting to go. I feel like I needed to put a disclaimer, like that's making me sound really ungrateful, like, ugh, why do we have to go and it's Pixar Fest? I love Pixar, I've got nothing against Pixar, I was just wanting to see everything as it is all the time, like all the classic stuff as well. And don't get me wrong, I was still just as excited, and I still am very grateful that I got to go, and the fact that we went during Pixar Fest might even be better because that's obviously such a limited thing that not many people will have got to see. So yeah, I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining, because I'm not. But again, I wasn't expecting loads from this parade. I wasn't expecting it to love it as much as I did, and oh my god, I loved it. It made me cry. Really loved the music. I loved all the characters that were involved in it, the way they did it. There was actually like water being sprayed out as well while we were watching it, which was amazing because the heat was unreal, and it was nice to have a bit of like water sprayed at you, I'm not gonna lie. We were sat directly under the sun. We were sat on this bench which was literally facing the sun, so we were dying. So that was great. But yeah, just in general, it was a really cool parade, and every time something came, it was something I hadn't watched online because I thought I might as well keep this as a surprise because I'd not seen it yet. The same with the fireworks show as well, to be honest. Paint the Night was the only thing I'd watched all the way through, I think, just because I was just like, I'm too excited, and I'd watched that before I knew I was going because I loved it so much. I think it was so cool, like some of the stuff that was in that parade. I loved the music. I cried, of course. So yeah, that exceeded my expectations, definitely. One thing that didn't match my expectations was one of the things that I actually wanted to buy while I was there. I was so excited. I'd seen people have it in the past, like Tyler Oakley, Dodie, people like that. It is the Mickey Mouse ears that are like attached to the conductor hat. It's like the train conductor hat, if that makes sense. It was like, I'll insert a picture of it here, and I was so excited. I was like, that's the first thing I'm going to buy. I'm so excited to get it. Don't care how much it is. When we got there, nowhere to be seen. I looked in like every shop. I guess they just don't do it anymore. I was absolutely heartbroken because I was so excited to get that, and it just didn't happen. And I still got some other amazing things, like this top, one of the things that I was desperate to get. So again, I'm not being ungrateful, I was just gutted that I didn't get to get it because it was something that I really wanted. But overall, there wasn't really anything that disappointed me while I was there. The trip was incredible. There wasn't anything that I thought, oh, that was crap, or oh, I expected that to be better and it was awful, or that wasn't any good. I loved every second. I was very overwhelmed for most of it, so I didn't really know how to feel. I felt very, I think I just stood there a lot like completely no expression, which probably in vlogs and in pictures and stuff I look really unimpressed.
Oh honey!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And to like my family and Luke, they probably thought, oh, she clearly isn't that excited, because I was just stood there. Like when we first saw the castle, I was like, and like I welled up a bit, but I was just like stood there, and they were talking about, so what we're gonna do first, and I was like, I don't know, and I just looked really unimpressed just because I was so overwhelmed. Because I've only ever been to Disneyland Paris. I went when I was 4 and then when I was 17, and I just never thought I'd ever get to go to Disneyland California or any other Disney park. And Disney parks have such a close place in my heart, and I just love Disney, and it was just such a big deal for me, which may sound dramatic to some people that don't really get that kind of fandom or whatever you want to call it. I hate that word, but yeah, I love it, and it was just perfect, like absolutely perfect, and I would literally go back in a heartbeat if I could. So yeah, overall an incredible trip. I really wanted to do originally a trip report video and talk about everything in detail, but I guess I've kind of like covered some of it now. I know in the vlogs I didn't vlog everything. Like there was a lot of rides we went on that I didn't vlog, a lot of parts of it that I didn't vlog, because I think it was just so busy, and I'd never done Disney vlogs before, and I kind of like forgot what was happening and how much I wanted to vlog. And I do wish I'd vlogged a bit more. I do have a lot of footage, but I wish I'd vlogged more. And I think if I ever go back to a park again soon, like Paris maybe, I'm going to do more where I talk to the camera and I talk about more things. I know a lot of the time it is good to take in and stuff, but I do want to add more to it where I'm talking through stuff as well, and maybe showing a little bit more, if that makes sense. You might watch the Disney vlogs and be like, hun, how could you have showed any more than that? But I watch a lot of other Disney vloggers that have really long vlogs and they talk through more, and they talk about stuff more, I guess. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but yeah, hopefully I'll be going back to a Disney park soon, and of course I will vlog it for you guys. So that is everything for this little Q&A video. I thought it was going to be kind of short because I only ended up picking a few of the questions to answer, but I think I did that because I knew I was going to ramble a lot and that there were questions that could be like, have like broader answers, so that's what happened there. I'm sorry if this is really long, but it's been nice to talk about it in a sit down video. So yeah, I loved my trip, can't wait to go back one day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a massive thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any more questions about it or any other video suggestions you have for me, anything like that. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!